Hi there, welcome to the limbo between Christmas and New Year's Eve. These days where you really don't feel like doing anything much, anticipating the New Year's celebration. I hope you're going to have a good party, buy lots of champagne, support the economy of France. It's funny because I posted the other video by Richard Branson, and he is actually very agora-centric minded. He would be a good supporter of it, I think, because he claims that, or he thinks that companies should be small. There should be many small companies. Government should try to break any monopolies and things like that. And he talks also about airlines controlling airspace, and that's important to him, having an airline. But I guess he could also talk about rights given to Apple to sell music online. Which destroyed his music company. It's all, if you look back in the history of industrialized humanity, the 20th century, then it's all controlled, has been controlled. It's a series of monopolies, even going back before the 1800s, something like that. But so maybe he'll be interested in it if it develops a little bit more. He has a habit of being interested in small companies that have a solid basis, and sadly I cannot claim to be that at the moment. It's just a philosophy, and I'm going to find as much support of it and try to get as much information out as possible. Agora-centric means local autonomy, local manufacturing. Silver Futurist was talking about copper and other metals as a commodity or as money, and raising the idea of copper as money many times. Of course, it can be money. It has many uses. It's very useful stuff. That makes it very liquid. There's no other criterion in my mind for something to be money, to be a means of exchange, than liquidity. It has to be exchangeable. The liquidity means that you can get rid of it when you want it in return for something else. And if the liquidity is higher, then you're actually basically you have something that you can trade for more, or can have a bigger opportunity to trade for anything that you want. So the more liquid, the better. Copper as a means of exchange is only liquid in the form of copper coins that we have at the moment. Not as copper bars. It's impractical because it's not valuable enough. So it's too heavy. So people prefer silver and gold and platinum and palladium. I saw that the US Mint is now going to make palladium coins, and that really exploded because it was 214 when I first bought my own, and now it's at 700 or something like that, 600. Incredibly high price for an ounce of palladium. I've invested in some new bars, and these are really fantastic. I'm really happy about this investment. I can show you I have two types. This is the milk type bar. It's from Tony Chocoloni. Tony Chocoloni. You really should buy this because it's slave-free money. Of course, this is liquid because I can always find somebody to accept it. I'm not sure how much I'll get in return. It's not a highly valuable commodity at the moment in this shape, but it will appreciate. And it also, this is the pure stuff, or it's 62% pure, slave-free chocolate. And it's also, if you are anticipating any food calamity, this will tie you over for quite a long time because there's lots of nutritional value in chocolate. It also has a very good influence on your aging. You'll age slower if you eat chocolate, and it will have a very good effect on your heart and other effects. It has a hemp type compound in it. I think it's THC is in chocolate. So it actually gives you a very comfortable feeling. It's not really the hemp, the marijuana compound. It's the compound that mimics being in a social environment. So that gives you more social feeling, I guess. I'm not sure how much you'll have to eat for this. But these bars, I'm not sure how much. I couldn't find out how much chocolate appreciated in price in the last years. But it seems that in the last 4 years it has tripled. The raw cacao, not coca, raw cacao price. It would be, I think, fair if coca was traded openly, because it is traded, illegally. It is being traded. So why would you not have a market for coca? Simply, either you abolish it or you allow it, one or the other. But you don't play this shadow game. It's just, it's more, again, I think, a question of monopolies, because if everybody would know that you can always get cocaine. I'm not sure where I could get it, but it's available on the street. If you can grow it yourself, then everybody would do it, and there would simply not be that money flow. I think every cottage industry has to be monopolized at some point. I'm not sure what else I wanted to talk about, but I'll be working on the agoracentric website, and if you have anything that might be useful, please go to the agoracentric.org site and send me a message, put it in an email. If you have a nice story about environmental stuff, then please send it. There was a comment on my last video that I found pretty worth mentioning. I was claiming and saying that you simply have to get rude and indecent, not indecent, but as long as you don't get arrested, you can do anything with the people that are part of the Trinity, that are part of these cartels, that are profiting from it, are getting rich of it, are having a good time, basically operating a machine that is destroying the life of the average American. There was an article about poverty in rural America, where they don't even have good roads and stuff like that. Well, it's not like these people cannot make these roads. It's not like they don't want to. It's not like they don't want to redirect any funds towards having a good energy supply, good water, and etc. It's simply that they're no longer allowed to, because their territory and their land is dominated by political ideas that are corrupt and serve the Trinity, serve the banks, the industries, and the energy companies. And it's if you comment on my video saying, well, you're only cutting your own fingers if you don't serve the people that are in that organization, that basically that big machine that is grinding the earth to a state in which people cannot survive on it anymore, then you're mistaking, because let's say if you make a symbol of solidarity, which could be the silver coin, but I would say it's the 1/10 ounce silver Kaiser that I would make a little pin out of, and I can do that now. I can purchase some of them online, and maybe, but it's only the idea that the majority of people is being screwed over, and it's not like a slight majority, like 51%. No, it's 98% of the people is being screwed over by this system. Well, 98% of the people should be able to send a message to the other 2%, and the message I think is appropriate to send is that they are assholes, that they're antisocial, that they should not be happy about what they're doing, and they should not be enjoying it. And the only thing you have to do is tell everybody that works as a servant in some high class restaurant where they pay $500 for a bottle of wine, to no longer work there. And if you're a cook in that restaurant, stop working there. It's just like there's just this slight compensation that some people will get. Of course, there's not many needed to give the 2%. Let's say the Washington people, everybody that works in every Republican, let's be a bit selective, in Congress. Every time you pay courtesy to those people, you're a moron. You don't see what's going. You're like, oh yes, Mr. Mitch McConnell, please take my seat, because you are screwing everybody. That also a lot of my friends, and but I will bow down to you because I have so much respect for you, because I'm a complete moron, because I cannot help myself. I have to be respectful to somebody that is in Congress, because it's such a beautiful building. And it has such a beautiful history with such intelligent people in it. Used to be there. Now it's all like a bunch of leeches, and there might be some good guys in between, but they're all millionaires. They never commingle with me, not for any type of social interaction. So why should I give a damn about you? You know? Go sit on the pavement. If you want to sit, it's not hard to do. You know, if you want to stand, stand outside. If you want to have a drink, go buy one in the supermarket. You're a millionaire, you're rich, you don't care about poor people. You want to cut off any social security because, you know, they don't work, they don't do anything. No, that's because you allow other people to monopolize production of everything. That's because you create and support cartels and patented structures that basically treat people like tuna and try to find the fat tuna until there are no fat tuna anymore, and then you move on to some other business. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why they try to get to Mars, to see if there's anybody to exploit there. Why treat these people with decency? I don't see the point. And I hope you don't see it either. And I think that's a very strong way, because a lot of these individuals that let's say, well, we're gonna make sure that there's no bunny trails in the EPA so that they can regulate any fossil fuel industries. We're gonna make sure that of course that's nonsense, because that will cost a lot of jobs in the companies from which we constantly try to shed as much people as possible, because we care about those jobs. Yes, we do. We don't. No, individuals that think that they're doing good because they're helping themselves. It's amazing how somebody can be completely isolated in only measuring success and failure relative to what they want themselves. So, you know, they're sad if they don't get what they want, and they're happy if they do get what they want. And they just, you know, this entitlement. It's like everybody should give them stuff. They should always get stuff. They should never give stuff. You know, they should never lose. That's the mentality. It's basically the mentality. So these people take only decisions from which they can win, because other decisions don't make sense to them. It's like, I'm not getting rich. Why would I do that? Why would I build? You know, it's just such a tiny effort to start a project for I don't know, rural clean water supplies, desalination plants, etc. You give, you know, all these now bombing U.S. citizens, these 20% super unemployed. You give them $5 an hour and they'll do anything, and then you can improve society immensely, and they'll even be happy that they were giving the opportunity. And you give the dollar some value, because the value of the dollar is then made. You have labor creates some type of asset that wasn't there before, some type of construction or a thing, and so you suddenly have something to sell or to own. So so your dollar invested actually becomes a valuable dollar. That's the whole reason why Keynes, you know, thought of the idea of investing and then reaping economical benefit. Of course, today it doesn't work anymore, because all that money slushes around in the gambling halls of Wall Street. See, if they don't want to deal with you through the, let's say, the system that's designed to allow them to have contact and represent the public, then I think you should remind them at every opportunity outside that system that they have a public to represent. And if they do it badly, then you simply call them assholes and bitches. It's not polite, but it's not a crime in the US, so you can do it. Thanks.